Ho, ho, hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, my name's Evan. I'm a dumb dad.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. What a great intro. Look
Right?
at that. Cheerful.
Just thought of it, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
Just,
holiday themed. I
top of the old noodle.
December 18th when we're recording this.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, exciting. Exciting times here in the holiday season.
Yeah, we're getting into it. We're getting through it.
Yeah.
Kids are on break now. That's exciting, is it? I don't know. Is it terrifying? A little bit.
Well,
We're only, as of this recording, we're only 2 days in. It feels like more already.
it does feel like more already. It's exactly what just happened with like Thanksgiving break, where it's like the first 2 days felt like it had already been a week.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been that bad for me this time, I'll say, but it's still like, I mean, we're still only 2 days into it, or really like a day into it, but we haven't reached like Monday when they would normally have gone to school. That's when it really felt like.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the drag yet.
Yeah.
Not that we had it, like we discussed it on the podcast, but like not that Thanksgiving break was horrible or anything. It was fine.
No.
I remember the first 2 days were a drag. And then you're right.
Yeah.
We're on Sunday, and it's okay so far.
That's right.
But you're right. Tomorrow is day one of the dad.
21? I don't know.
Tomorrow's day one of the dad joke. All right, guys, gotta get ready for school.
Yeah. Just kidding. It's
Dad, we're not going to school.
Here's the thing. So yeah, our kids go to school in Los Angeles, and it's a 3-week break. My other friends don't have that long. I think 2 is about the average.
I didn't ask for that long.
Yeah, I
mean,
don't
it's
ask
weird
for
because
that.
you can sign up for like lunches, but like,
But you can't sign up for like when I can send my kids.
No.
back
They
to school.
can go back on Monday.
I mean,
Christmas is on the weekend. It's fine. We'll be back on Monday.
yeah, we'll be back on Monday. It's so funny, like how, I mean, this is going to, I think we've learned now, this is just going to constantly happen. But as we progress into this wild adventure we call parenting, you do a lot of like, oh, this is what my mom and dad must have felt like. Oh, this is maybe what my mom and dad must have felt like. Because when you're a kid and it's like winter break and you're like high-fiving your friends, I'll see you next year, and then you get like a whole like 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. Your parents are thinking like, what are we going to do with them? You know, especially if you're working parents. It's all got to, I mean, or working outside the home, you know, we got to set all that up. So here I feel pretty privileged in our complaint that we're like, this is going to be crazy, but like we're home with the kids.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot on us. But
The Christmas break. I mean, it's in the Christmas song. You know, mom and dad can hardly wait for school to start again.
yeah,
Like,
that
that's
line
where-
hits different now.
That
doesn't
line
it?
hits real different.
So let's just jump right into it, because my dumb dad moment for this
Wow, getting
week,
right into it. Okay.
Yeah, well, because it just kind of tails on the end of what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
And now, as we know, I'm sitting with royalty now, Kevin, the president of the PTA of
That's
the
correct.
school.
Yes, Mr. President.
Mr. President. And so I have really yet to be able to like go in. I mean, we still can't go onto campus really, but we pick up our kids at the fence, you know, they come and so my son's teacher asked if anybody would like to volunteer to come help do like a kid's activity towards the before the holiday. And so I jumped at the chance to do it, signed up. I will also say I'll squeeze in some big news here.
Okay.
I have some really exciting news.
Okay.
I don't have tuberculosis.
Oh, that's
so
great.
that's a big win for me. You have to in order to become a volunteer at your school, you have to take like pass
All
these
the tests.
and it's like you have to go get a TB test, and it was like tuberculosis. I mean, it's closer to like whether or not you like Tom Brady or not. It would be like it's tuberculosis. It just
You
seems
got
like a really,
TB12.
yeah,
no.
You got TB12. Oh man, I'm a Seahawks fan. That stings. So yeah. Anyway, so I had to take all these tests. You got to go get tested. They give you the TB test, which just felt so funny. But okay, sure. And all that paperwork didn't go through, so I still just had to sign up for the 1-day pass.
Oh, perfect.
The lady that works at my son's school that runs through all those applications to make you a permanent volunteer doesn't work there anymore. So when I called to find out the status of the application, that's what I was informed. Oh, yeah, we don't have anybody doing that right now.
We fired her. She was forging TB tests.
So we don't really have a way to look at your application. I mean, your application's sitting over here with quite a few other ones. So it was just like, okay, I see.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so what do I do now? And they're like, you just fill out this 1 day form
Yeah.
for now, and then we'll work on that rest of it later.
Mm-hmm.
So partially the dumb dad moment was they're going to do it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So as like sort of a last, it's like they're not really going to do anything in school the last day before a 3-week break. So we're going to do a big fun activity. So I was all pumped, thinking like, I finally get to go in. It'll be fun to experience the kids' classroom and kind of see them all interact with each other. And I'm a crafty guy, so I'll be able to help. They're going to build gingerbread houses.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll be able to help. It'll be fun. And then I realized, like, while I was there, now I did have a great time. It was really fun. All of his students were the kids in his class were so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were so kind. I would bring them, they'd ask for some more licorice or whatever, or some frosting on their tree or whatever. And or I'd go scoop more glue, the powdered sugar water combination, and hold it all together. And every time I'd go, they'd, thank you very much. They were so it was just so funny to watch all the little kids interact. And then as I was leaving, waving goodbye, they were, thank you for coming and helping us. It wasn't like the teacher saying, say goodbye to Mr. Burke. They're all just, they were so kind. It was really funny to watch. So it was very rewarding. I loved every second of it.
See, you're like me. You've got that. I talked about this before, and I feel like you hazed me a little bit on it. But I went to, every time I've gone to my daughter's school, I've anticipated getting hazed.
Yeah.
Every single time.
You got a couple of looks the first couple of times, but
I think I was wrong. I think I misjudged those looks because, for instance, not to cut off your story, I'll just tell this real quick, but like our last day of school was pajama day at my daughter's school. I went in my full Christmas jammies.
To pick them up.
To drop off and pick up, but I also stayed there because I had to break down we'll get to it, the holiday show, but I saw a kid and he was just like, a kid was like, hey, I like your pajamas. And I wanted to be like, hey, how about you go fuck yourself? But then I looked at him.
Do you?
And he was
how do you like this?
He was legitimately like, thumbs up. He liked my pajamas. And
you're so like,
I'm just
you have
ready
you
for
got
a
him all
fight.
You got him all near the surface. That's funny.
So I'm with you. I'm like, God, you guys are so nice. This is, okay.
I know. Oh, you guys have like all the hope in the world.
Yeah. You don't know.
Well, Kevin, it is our job to haze each other. So I was just doing my job.
Yeah.
So okay, you're right. They're so nice. It's so wonderful to be there. I loved every second of it. However, I realized in the moment, like, this is the last day before 3 weeks at home with them until like parenting intense training camp back. Is where we're going back to boot camp.
Yep.
And I spent the last free day I had
with more children.
That was my dumb dad moment. It was like, oh man, this is, and it was early release, so I was there like the whole time.
Yeah.
I had to leave an hour before it. I tried to be there the whole time, and then I had a last second like audition. I had to run home and join this like audition. So I had to like leave like just an hour before they were about to wrap up. So I didn't get to like help them. I felt really bad because then there was powdered sugar everywhere. And I was like, I gotta go. So
you got to be fun uncle.
Yeah, I got to be fun uncle. So it was fun, but I realized in the moment, I was like, oh man, this is just like a Kickstarter to the next 3 weeks, and I didn't spend any of it.
Because there will be powdered sugar everywhere.
There's gonna be powdered sugar
and
everywhere.
You have to clean it this time.
Yeah. So it was fun. And the day before, which I know you're going to allude to, so I'll give you a smooth little transition here. The day before, we also had our holiday performance for the second graders, which was, it's crazy. We've had a couple of these moments, but this really felt like the first like real school thing for us to go see and take part of, to witness like what they do in school. That seems crazy, but
sure.
For the last 3 years, it's been lockdown for most of it, and then peppering back in little things they can do. But this was like, we're all going to cram into the auditorium and watch, and they're all going to file in and sing their little songs, and it was pretty awesome to watch. I mean, because I know you've been able to go to school more and be a part of it, but that was like the first time we felt like we really went there all the other parents in the room. Everyone's got their phones out. The whole thing. It was like they hadn't been able to do that at their school in 3 years. They hadn't even been able to do the gingerbread house activity in 3 years. So it's all just sort of getting back to like regular activity. So it was pretty special to get to watch that.
That's pretty cool. That will go transition into my. It's gonna be it's a long walk to a dumb dad moment because it was just a dumb experience.
Well, hey, sometimes they build. Sometimes it's a fire it off and you realize like, oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
sounds like this is a nice little slow burn.
It was. So we're in the holiday season. We make the jokes of. It's not even the jokes. It's just what we do is we have to. We're going to do this day and this day because the holidays only last so long. Like I know the break is 3 weeks, but we want to get the Christmas stuff done. And now more things are open and there's more accessibility to do stuff. So I have been setting up for my daughter's Christmas show, being on the PTA, decorated the whole stage. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I cannot believe how much, this isn't me tuning my own horn. This is just more of like a crazy observation. I can't believe how much like the PTA, if the PTA doesn't do it, it doesn't get done kind of situation. Because they were just like, well, they're doing the holiday show, and the teachers are handling that, and they made some banners for it, and they're taking care of the kids singing and the choreography and all that stuff, and that's great.
Yeah.
But they were like, but the whole auditorium, have fun. Like, we got to decorate.
Make it look nice.
The whole thing.
The three of you.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to leave? Okay, the two of you.
Basically. So we were there. It took us like a week to do all of it because we just went. We wanted to go nuts. This was the first year, as you said. Last year we did it, but it was filmed and then sent out to the parents.
Yeah.
So we only needed to decorate the stage last year. This year it was like, all right, we want to give a full experience. So we were like, the end rows of the seats, we put like giant candy canes on them with garland and all this stuff, and like we decorated the whole line, the walls with all the banners the kids made. And
decked the halls.
Lights. We decked the halls.
Yeah.
And so that took like a week to do. And then we wanted to get it done by the time the kids did dress rehearsal, which was on Monday. So the Friday we finish up. And then that weekend we went to see the Nutcracker. Yeah. The ballet, the Nutcracker. We brought both my kids. Mm-hmm. My wife and I went. It was, we did it before pre-COVID with my daughter. So this is like her third time seeing it. My son's first.
Yeah.
And we were very excited about it. And I went to it going, this is great. Podcast is going to be a layup this week. Like, I'm gonna have a dumb dad moment, no problem.
Better carry a notebook with me.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's gonna be so easy to have a problem.
Yeah, There's opportunities everywhere for a problem.
Nothing to report. Shockingly, the kids loved the show. They sat there. Both kids were like just like loving it.
Even little man was able to sit there.
He loved it. He loved the Rat King.
He probably burst out laughing when he showed up. Huh?
Yeah, when he got stabbed, he was like, he's
dead. How did they portray him? I've only seen the Nutcracker a couple times, and usually when I've seen it, it's like a 20-foot tall thing that they bring on stage, is how I saw it.
No,
not some character.
This is a ballet, so...
Yeah, I know.
So it's not the...
It was like a stage prop.
Not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not Hulk.
It was this guy in like green tights with white dots all over him. Look at another screen, and then you could see him.
The Rat King was trying to collect 6 stones.
He came into the audience.
He could snap away the ballerinas. I don't really get it. No, in this one, so they had like, it was clearly different dance. It was like one dance company and a bunch of different classes. So there was a couple kids that basically were mice, and that was adorable. And those young kids. Then there was older kids that were wearing frightening rat, like, not
like
hats,
frighteningly good,
like masks. Yeah, like they were just like, they looked like rats. They had like the little beady eyes, and it was like a full on mask that went over their head. And
let's just remember the rat theme that's going to carry into the what happens after you're done talking.
Yeah. So then there's that, and then it was a rat queen this year, and it was just a lady with like, it was a girl in a black dress with a crown and some rat ears.
Yeah.
Still got stabbed by the Nutcracker. He stabbed her good. Interesting.
Story doesn't change really.
I think he stabs her. He does. He stabs her. Nobody talks about this, in the back.
Oh. Yeah. Well, kind of a ratty thing to do if you think about it.
They were always trying to run away anyway. So what are you going to do if you don't want them to come back? So anyway, the kids loved the show. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And had a great time. Cut to my son vomiting profusely that evening.
Oh, when he got back.
So he might not have gotten it from the nutcracker. He might have got it from a kid at school because that's pretty fast acting, but we don't know. We don't know. We tested him for COVID. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
We think it was the norovirus, but we don't know. And so he was like, he had it bad for like 12 hours. He's just like, he wakes up vomiting. My wife stays with him all night. So my wife's like, well, I know what my next 24 to 48 hours are going to look like.
Oh, man.
So
you're just waiting for the worst part about that is like, you think you're going to get the stomach flu, but you don't know when it's going to start.
Yeah. You know you're going to get the stomach flu.
Yeah,
you don't know when it's going to start. So she stayed with him all night. And then at around like 5 a.m, I heard him throw up. And so I got up. I mean, I was up throughout the night with her, helping her change the sheets, but she was in the room. She was probably not sleeping that night. It was just a constant rotation of like, I mean, that
oh man,
that washing machine, we put years on that thing in 12 hours. It was a constant run. And 5 a.m, I really, I was like, I go to tap out my wife. She goes to bed and I lay down with my son. We're on the couch. He just like lays his head on me. It's like 5 a.m, something like that. And he lays down on me for like an hour. And I was like, oh, okay.
And your lips are just pursed tight. You're breathing through your nose as little as possible.
And then his head's on my chest. And and then you don't even get a warning. I mean, as a kid, he just, and it just,
it's coming.
My entire chest is covered. And it was just
back with a newborn is what it's like.
It really was. It was just like, oh, okay. And it's funny because there are certain things as a parent you can't beat yourself up for, because there's certain things that like you're going to upset your kids with your reaction, and sometimes you could have done a better job, and sometimes it's not your fault.
Well,
it's
also,
nobody's fault.
There's plenty of opportunity to beat yourself up over things you do as a parent. So,
but this was one of those ones. This is one of those ones where he throws up on me and I go, oh, like that, which upsets him. But it's like, no, you're good, man. You're fine. And it's like, no, it's too late. The ship has sailed. He's upset.
Yeah.
Because I got startled. Because
there was no on you, so
warning. If he had like and threw up, I'd be like, all right, yep, cover me. Let's marinate this steak. But then he was upset. And then that's when I was like, cool. That's it. That's my nail in the coffin. I am covered. And cleaned him up. Then my wife got sick.
You're soaked in opportunity.
So my daughter and I are just kind of just like, how's this going to play out?
Yeah.
So neither of us got it though. My daughter and I, we got through. We got through the waiting period, if you will. My wife got it pretty bad. Hers was longer than 12 hours. She had it like, she didn't throw up as much as him, but she had it for probably about 2 days, day and a half. It was pretty rough. But
oh man,
I mean, it was wild. I was sleeping in the guest room, not in trouble.
By choice.
Sleeping in the guest room being like, no, this is Christmas. Then she had the show. My daughter made it to the show. We were like, is she going to be sick? Because that was the scariest part. It was like the week of the show, and it's like,
she's just going to miss the last 2 days of school.
Yeah. You're going to miss that. Like, missing the last day of school is fine. But I was like, when you miss your show. She was so excited about it. Anyway, the show went off great. And it was like, okay, well, it's skated by with that one. And then because of that, we were going to do Zoo Lights. Had to move the date on that one.
Yeah. I know, it just pushes everything.
It moved everything. Luckily, we called and they were like, "Yeah, it's fine." And we went to the Zoo Lights, and that's where like kind of the dumb dad moment happened, which was we got through this week of sickness. We got through this week of like doing the holiday show. I had to set up, and then I had to break down after the whole stage, and we're going to the Zoo Lights, so it's like, guys, let's go, like making sure everyone's got like warm coats, and then my daughter's. We're about to run out the door, and I was like, go get your shoes on. Put warm socks on. She puts warm socks on. Go put your shoes on. Mm-hmm. She gets her shoes on. We go. We're all out the door. The son's got shoes on, and we're good. They're on the right feet. And then we get there, and my daughter's wearing ballet flats. Like old ballet flats, too.
So they're tight.
No, they're loose. They're flopping off. They're just like...
That's great.
Yeah. Just like a pair of sweatpants, or just the elastic.
Yeah.
Just
flashback to last year. when we went, and my daughter was so cold. Little hands were freezing cold,
Yep.
so I had to go find like this $50
sweatshirt that she wouldn't wear.
That she wouldn't wear.
Yeah, so she's wearing. Luckily, she was wearing warm socks, which I think made it worse because of these big fluffy socks. So these ballet flats are just flopping off, and all she wants to do is just dance everywhere. And it's just a constant.
And you just look like dingbat parents. Like, why would you put your kid in basically socks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a whole thing.
We make the joke here that it's, it snows everywhere else in the for Christmas. It doesn't get quite that cold here, but it does get like the last week or so. It's been down like 38, 37 degrees at night.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's cold when you're walking around. That's what I say. Last year we're thinking like, yeah, everybody bring a nice warm sweatshirt or whatever, and it was like still freezing cold.
I will say this about zoo lights, which was pretty funny. This was like my thought process. My wife didn't know this because it's not like an issue, but at one point we were like walking with them. They were enjoying the lights. Sure. It was a whole new situation this year than they've ever done.
I know. We're going this evening, so yeah. We're really excited.
It's cool. And the kids were having a lot of fun. And then as usual, the wheels start to come off.
Yeah.
They're getting tired and cranky. And in my brain, like kind of like just not a dumb dad moment, but a dumb dad like thought. Whereas I was just like in my brain, I didn't say it out loud. I was like, well, we had fun. Let's head home. I was like, we did good. And my wife was just like, all right, so we just got to go up this way. And I was like, what do you mean we got to go up that way? Like, they're tapped out.
The hill?
Yeah.
I don't want to climb a hill.
I had completely forgot about this like second half because we had gone like, because there's a fork in the road. So we went like left, got to the end there. Kids have fallen apart. We're on our way back. I'm like, we're going home. We're leaving.
This is the end point.
And we get to this hill, and my wife's like, so we're going to go up here. I was like, are we? But
I think that's a mistake. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But to my wife's credit, she had a pro mom moment, which was she went and bought a gigantic bag of cotton candy.
Oh, that's all you got to do.
Huge save. I mean,
yeah.
Made them happy and pumped up the reserves. They were down again. They were like cool to like rock and roll, and we got through it, and it was fun. Kid got cranky again real quick. Here, put this in your mouth. Eat this.
Yeah. Eat this hairy sugar.
Yeah. Should be called candy webs, but sure. But the kids had a great time, and then that was, and we got home, and it was fine. And my daughter was all hopped up when we got home because it was like, it's time to go to bed. And she's like, I want to stay up.
You guys just gave me cotton candy.
See, like,
I don't understand what's happening.
Her eyes were all pupils. She looked like a shark.
She smelled blood, which is
sugar.
That it's late.
Yeah. And it was
she could take advantage of that.
Did the typical thing kids do, like, I want to stay up though. I want to stay up. And I was like, you're not as awake as you think you are.
You're on your toes. You're almost floating. So let's just take a deep breath.
Put her down, and she's like, I don't want to go to bed. And you're like, I know you don't, and you got to get your sleep. It's important. And I love you. Okay, I'm closing the door.
They are like little sharks if you think about it, because they have like extra teeth coming in from the back, like rows of teeth. It's kind of
a nightmare.
Kind of freaking me out.
Nightmare. And my son, he made some chum earlier in the week. So that's gross.
What a fun Shark Week for you.
But yeah, then they passed right out. I'll never not think that's funny as when kids are like super hopped up and like, but I'm not tired. It's fine. And then you put them down and leave the room, and like 5 minutes later, you're like, absolute silence.
That's like when you get in the car.
Yeah.
And like you don't leave the driveway, and they're like, their heads are in like awkward positions in the car seat. So let's go back to the rats.
Okay.
So as we talked about on the podcast, we've had a bit of an issue at our place. The rats were under the house. They chewed a hole in the plumbing.
Sure, as you do.
Stay with me here on this. So our car has like a little panoramic sunroof that leaks when it rains. It's had a bit of a problem. Now, it barely rains here.
I don't like that you're telling these two stories, but go ahead.
Yes, I know. So the issue is like it barely rains here, and then it's like by the time it does, it's like, oh, it's going to rain today? Okay. And then you kind of forget, and you go for a drive, and it's like, oh, man, the headliner's wet. I keep forgetting about this. So made a point to go, we need to make an appointment for the car and just go get this handled when it's sunny so that it'll be done with. It's like a known issue. So you just got to bring your car and drop it off. They'll clean it out, and then there's like a part they install. So it's like it's taken care of. You just got to make the appointment to do it. It's just one of those things like you push it off, you push it off, you push it off. I made the appointment. One the other little thing, I was like, I'd like you guys to take a look at something for me. We can't charge our phone in my car. It's a 2015, so it's right before anything Apple Play, like literally a year before or like 6 months before. So also all the plugs are like priority plugs. There's no just USB plug in the car. So we've gotten adapters, cigarette lighter adapters and things, but it's like it would go for like a week and then it would blow the fuse and you couldn't charge it anymore. So it was just one of those things like I don't understand why this is happening. And then it got to the point where I was changing the fuse, nothing even plugged in. I'd go to change the fuse and it'd pop in my hand, like plugging it in. So I was like, okay, well, there's a short somewhere. I don't really know how to address this.
Yeah.
So would you guys take a look at this for me? So the guy calls me like this first day or the next day after I dropped the car off. When I dropped it off, he assumed should be calling you later this afternoon. It's like, great. Calls me later this afternoon. We're not going to have it done. I was like, okay, that's fine. I kind of assumed it might be longer if you're going to investigate this little issue I'm having.
Yeah.
Calls me the next day. He's like, we don't know what's going on. We got to kind of, now we have to investigate in this.
Uh-huh.
But you got to pay for that investigation. I was like, uh-huh. He's like, it's going to be $600. Wow. I was like, okay. Okay. He's like, but whatever the problem is, that will be put towards the labor of it and everything. So it'll be sort of, whatever it costs, they'll be put towards that. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully it's not a huge issue.
Yeah.
So, sure. He calls me the next day. I'm still thinking like he's going to be calling me to come get the car.
Yeah.
He calls me the next day. He's like, so we found some rat droppings in the engine bay of your car.
Okay.
I was like, wow, you have no idea how much sense that makes right now, man.
Yeah.
So he's like, and then we took apart the issue to see if there was a short, and a bunch of the wiring was chewed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we found. Now that it's apart, let's just go ahead and replace it. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and replace it. Now the wiring kit and harness and stuff doesn't cost that much. It's just wiring and a little, and clips. But it's the cigarette lighter under the armrest, which is under the center console, which is under the carpet. And the only way to get to that is to remove the seats. So
$600.
Yeah. To start it off. Needless to say, got my car back the day before yesterday. They had it for like 9 days. 10 days.
But she charges like it's supposed to.
Haven't even tried it yet.
Oh, wow.
Really pretty nervous to plug anything into that situation.
I hope not.
Well, I think part of it was like, we were using like low profile aftermarket ones.
Uh-huh.
So it was like whether or not they are, it's like you should use, if you don't want to go back and have them go, stop using like $3 gas station like USB chargers. You got to get one, whatever. The problem is they don't really sell them anymore, so you got to find one sourced like a Volkswagen one or whatever, whatever the thing is. So, needless to say, 9 days later, I'm signing a $1,300 bill.
Oh,
at the dealership because I asked him to check something out. Maybe that's another dumb dad moment.
It's kind of a dumb dad moment because the thing about mechanics is they always find a problem.
Well, I specifically pointed him to where it was.
You did.
But it's like, man, it's one of those annoying things. Because it should have been, it was like the idea was I was taking it to get something handled for free because it was a known issue. Yeah. That part was free.
Yeah.
The sunroof leak part was free. The part that wasn't free was where I was like, hey, you want to dig apart my car and find out exactly where the rats again.
Those rats hate you.
They hate me so much.
You're like a Disney villain, and the rats are just stopping you from getting somewhere.
Yeah. Although it feels like they're the villain from where I'm sitting, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm on the wrong end of Ratatouille, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
I'm the restaurant.
Yeah.
And they're running
all
all over.
Food critic, or I don't know. We're losing it.
I don't know. I forgot, but I look like the main character, so that's a whole thing. So yeah, Merry Christmas.
Wow.
Isn't that fun?
That's wild.
Now here's the thing. It is true. Like the dealership, it's going to be the highest amount of labor or whatever, but which I normally wouldn't have taken to them. Then my car's under no warranty or anything. But the known issue, they'll still take care of it because even though the car's outside of warranty, it's something that retroactively they'll fix for you. Yeah. So maybe the dumb dad moment might have been like, hey, there's this thing. It's going to be $600. Even look at it or whatever. And be like, I'll take it somewhere else. Just take care of sunroof thing, but it was, it's like it's already there. I already asked him to look at it.
I know.
I'm kind of just trying to go with the flow here. So I imagine it was probably like $1,250 in labor and $49.50 for the cabling or whatever it was.
100%.
It's like we own the car, so it's like car ownership, home ownership, whatever it is. You're gonna eat it someday.
Yeah.
Fun though. Fun.
So fun.
I just had to bring it up because like the rats, man. The rats.
You gotta stab them in the back. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Get a nutcracker.
Well, they're pretty fast. That's the problem. I need a slow one that has lines and blocking.
That likes to do ballet
Yes.
around me.
While I'm holding a little poker.
Yep. A wooden sword. Yeah. It's gonna hurt more.
Keep spinning. You just keep spinning, you little.
I keep that. Who made you that crown?
Oh, you stole it. That makes sense.
Oh, sure. That's on par. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're parking our car in the next neighborhood now and then walking to it.
Yeah, I would not. It's their land now.
Yeah, I know.
They are the landlord.
We're trying to get out of there as fast as we can.
Yeah,
they're the landlord.
You're trying to get out there as fast as you can. You can't, though, because the wires are chewed and the car doesn't run.
If you have a citrus tree in your vicinity, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
When we had the excavation service to have him out of our attic and underneath the house, that's what the guy was like, well, that's your problem right there. And the thing is, like, it's the next door neighbors, but it's overgrown. They don't take care of it. So, I mean, there's just lemons all over our back area. Oof. So that's the main issue. He's like, you see these little teeth marks and everything? That's not that's rats. That's what it is. It's rats and mice. That's like their favorite thing is like sour little citrus stuff. So
and wires.
And wires. Well, that's how they brush their teeth after they're done with the lemons.
That's true.
So that, like, if you have a lemon tree or something like that in your yard, just keep it under control and pick them up off the ground. That's your best bet, I think.
Clean up after your mess.
Or your neighbor's mess. I don't really know how that works.
Well, you got any other... You're going to Zoo Lights.
Going to Zoo Lights.
You got anything else on the docket?
Yeah, we found a couple things I think we're going to do. Like, we'd love to do, I know you guys have done this before. I'm sure like people like to do this. Make some hot chocolate, get in the car and drive around, listen to some holiday music, look at Christmas lights. It's fun to do. Yeah. We found another like neighborhood light situation. I think like last night my wife and I were looking like a walkthrough.
Yeah, those are great.
Which would be fun to do. So, yeah, we're just trying to find, again, like since we have all this time now with the kids, we're just trying to find stuff to do in the evening. Mm-hmm. Probably hour-and-a-half activities. We don't need to overload it thinking we're, really stacking it up because that'll overwhelm the kids. But just something fun to go do in the evening as a family, I think, is a good way to, just try to cement that family feeling in the holiday where you spend with your little kids and make it nice for them. So,
yeah, I love shopping online so that when we for this reason. So that you can bring the kids to the mall.
Hot take. You don't like going to malls?
But here's what. No, I do like going to malls. I do like going to the mall in the holidays. And this is my point. So there's one, the Grove, here in L.A., where it snows.
That's right. Bubbles,
we're not going there. I forget where we're going. There's like two places where it snows. The Grove and then the other place we're going to. But they're both like shopping areas. I like shopping online, getting that stuff all done, so that we can go to these places without an agenda.
Yeah, just enjoy the atmosphere.
That's true.
Atmosphere. And I'll say this too. It's specifically what you're talking about is it's like an outdoor mall.
It's an outdoor mall.
So we can. It feels very it's
holiday
really,
music's playing. Usually there's a live band.
Yeah, it's really
depending
decked
what day
out.
you go. So we're gonna go today. So that's gonna be cool, and there'll probably be a live band there.
That's fun.
And it snows.
Yeah.
But it's nice because you go there and you see other people just darting around with bags.
Yeah.
And you're like, nope.
I'll say, okay, so speaking of that, I'll say one more last little thing because this happened last night in terms of holiday shipping.
Okay.
So that's what it is. It's the chaos of the holidays. People, everything last minute or we got to go get this thing or whatever. Like you're saying, you're in there to enjoy the atmosphere and everyone else is like, standing in long lines paying for stuff with bags. Like this is stressful because now there's other people like you just enjoying the moment in their way. Mm-hmm. So we're like up against it with like we usually make gifts like a craft or something with the kids and then send those to our families. It's like something like this year's thing we made or whatever. Mm-hmm. So like literally up until the last day when's the last day that we should ship? We got to get this stuff done, and when's the post office open until? That was last night. They were open until 6 p.m. As long as we get there at 6 p.m. and drop our packages off, we're good. So we even avoid all the hoopla of it's going to be packed there. We know that. So you weigh your boxes at home, you measure them, you pay for your postage online, you tape it to the box. All you got to do is go drop it off.
Yep.
So that was the agenda. I show up there last night, 5:45, they were closed. The post office was completely closed. I was like, what? Come on, internet. It says you're open.
Yeah.
Their lobby was open.
What'd the door say?
6 o'clock.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, they were lying.
It's not the
There's
internet.
just all a big lie.
Yeah.
So they have like a lobby open that is extended hours for people to like do like the digital thing and then put it in their Dropbox.
Yep.
So I thought it was like, well, at least that, so I can go in and shove it in the Dropbox.
Yep.
So I walk in. Now that was packed. There's like 20 people in line waiting to use these machines to label their package and put it in the Dropbox. Now there were 2 people at the machine and a bunch of people in line. No one was at the Dropbox, so I don't have to wait for anything. I just need to go drop them off. I have like 4 packages. I drop the first one in and shut the thing, and it locks. And the atmosphere in the room hit a new low because they were like, "Did you just lock it?" And I was like, "Well, first of all, I didn't lock it. I put my package in, and it won't open. I didn't do anything. Okay, I did what you're waiting to do. So it would have been the next person."
Yeah.
So we wait there for like 10 minutes, and now it's after 6, and everyone's like, "What's happening?" I mean, this thing. I'm like rattling this thing. It's like locked.
Yeah.
And somehow, at some point, somebody came and opened it again.
Okay.
After about 10 minutes, I was like standing there just frozen. I didn't even know what to do.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like not knowing what
Everyone
to do.
hates you.
Everyone
it's not
hates me.
your fault, but everyone hates you.
Oh, it's my fault.
They need to hate somebody physically.
Yeah, they need to put it somewhere. There. And I was there walking in. So, I'm walking in.
Cutting the line.
Cutting the line, but like because it's like the look somebody gives you because they've been waiting forever for their coffee, but you ordered it 10 minutes ago online and on your mobile app and you just walk in and pick it up. They still are mad at you because they didn't think to do that. And it's your fault.
Right.
That was me. And somehow they must have because I kept kind of like rattling. I'm thinking like somebody's back there. They got to know.
Yeah.
They came and unlocked it. I put my 3 packages in. My last one didn't fit. And it was like, this is not good. Last second, my wife gets online, finds like a mailbox center that's open until 6:30. And it's like 6:15 after all that happened. So I'm like racing there. Here's the funny part. Because people just do what you think you need to do. You go to the post office, right? Mm-hmm. They're all trying to cram all their stuff in before 6:30 or 7, whenever that cutoff is. Mm-hmm. There are people in line. It's a frustrating atmosphere in there. Mm-hmm. I roll up to this mailboxes, etc., whatever it is. Yeah. This guy's sitting in there by himself. I open the door. He's like, "Happy holidays." And I was like, "Hey, man, you're a lifesaver." Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, really?" I was like, there's people that are really mad at the post office right now, and they said they were open, and they weren't. Oh. Like, any one of those people could have just kind of done what I was doing and just looked and gone over. I mean, he was there by himself. And I was like, "Thank you for taking this. Happy holidays, man." And I basically skipped out of there. It's like, so you just got to do it.
Order online. And just enjoy the atmosphere.
Enjoy the atmosphere.
That's where I'm going to take the kids today. We're going to go to the post office and just kind of see the sights.
Just sit in the parking lot. See all these people in there? Look at all of them. See how mad they are?
He's red like Santa Claus's jacket.
Look at the body language on these people.
And that one's green. Let's get out of here. I think they're saying.
That's a great lesson. Do your work online and enjoy the atmosphere.
Enjoy the atmosphere.
Then we'll leave. We can leave it there. I think that's really nice.
I think that's it. Guys, if you have some dumb parenting stories that you want to share with us, we'd love to hear them. You can write us dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram, where we're at the Dumb Dads, which is also our handle on TikTok and Twitter. So give us a follow there. Rate and review this podcast if you haven't already. We are still doing, for a few more days, we are donating $5 to No Kid Hungry for every new subscriber we get up until December 23rd. So you have a few more days once this podcast drops to do that. Tell other people to subscribe and follow this podcast. We'd really appreciate it. We've already donated some money, and we'd love to donate an extra chunk. So let's help that organization. It's a really, really great charity. So please check it out. Again, it's No Kid Hungry. So check them out.
Yeah, thank you for participating in that if you have, and if not, then get do your work online.
Get to do it
and enjoy the atmosphere.
Yeah. Thanks at Verdue on SoundCloud for the music, and thanks as always to my lovely wife Annie for editing this podcast. Evan, do you have a joke?
I do have a joke. What do you call Santa when he's out of money?
Broke.
Saint Nicholas.
Oh, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yours is fun too, though.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?